All right, so this is where we left off yesterday. I'm just typing in random things. And by the way, whatever I type up here, you guys, if you don't want to print 78, you got some number you really, really like, that's fine with me, okay? But what I don't want you to do right now is write something like 78 trombones. That would not work, okay? That's not going to cut it. I need you to write essentially what I do here. So what we've done so far is we printed welcome back to school, and then I hashtag that so it disappears, and always say this displays the message. Oh, that says messenger because I apparently don't know how to type. There we go. A message in quotations. All right. And then I put in here, you don't have to put this either. What happens without quotes? And I think I made you guys try that yesterday, right? Then we print 78. This displays the number 78. Numbers alone do not require quotes. Okay, you can do it, with quotes if you want to, right? So go ahead and do that. Actually, before we do that, go ahead and run this once again so you can see what it is that we did. And it says, welcome back to school 78, like class of 78, right? All right, now what I want you to do is go ahead in there, and I want you to say, whoops, you have to be tabbed properly if you haven't figured this out yet. I'm going to say print, and this time I'm going to say 78 like this, okay? Bloop, print 78. Now notice, did you guys notice the color change on the 78? Can anybody in here tell me why it changed colors when I put the quotes around at that time? It is, thank you, very good. So if you don't notice it, we haven't really gone over variables yet or classes yet, but this is because that 78 is different than the one we printed out before, okay? So go ahead, run that again, F5. All right, and now look what it says. Our output, what we see in the shell over there says, welcome back to school 78, 78. It doesn't appear to be different to our human eyes in the shell, but to Python, what we did there was two very different things, okay? When we printed welcome back to school, this is a series of letters, right? And in that case, if we would test out what that thing is, Python would tell us that that's a string. Okay, when we did not use the quotations, Python tells us that that, in this case, is, if it's not a string, does anybody know what it is? In this case, it's not a float, but you're close. If I put 78.0, it would have been a float. This is an integer, okay? And I can even show you guys how to test what those things are if you want me to. When I put quotes around it, Python doesn't think of that as an integer. Python thinks of that now as a string, okay? So 78 doesn't really mean the same thing in this case, all right? So now I'm going to have you print something else, okay? All right, now we're going to do print function once again. And this time I'm going to do things a little bit different. We're going to put several things in there, okay? I'm just going to put a list of numbers, okay? So 10, 21, and 79. That would be my birthday, okay? So, and I'm going to put that like this. All right, 10, 21, 79. If you guys run that, which you're more than welcome to do, F5, okay, run that again, look what it prints out for me. The commas are gone, right? The commas are gone. In this case, when we use commas in there, Python is going to read that, and it's going to think that we created a little list here. Not an official list, which is actually something different. We use brackets for that. But Python sees that as three different integers in this case, okay? Integer 10, integer 21, integer 79, okay? Does anybody have a suggestion on if I wanted to print that out and actually see those commas, what I could try? Yes, let's try it, okay? So let's try it. Let's go ahead, let's come in here, right? And let's print it again. Where do we put those quotation marks? What's that? So I got 10, all right? Now here's a weird thing. I'm gonna put a comma in there. Now I'm gonna use quotes around a comma, okay? Which is kind of weird, right? Right, 10 quotes, all right. Now I got to put another comma in there, and let's just put one number in there just to see if we can get it separated. So I'm going to put my 21 in there. All right, let's see if there's any problems here. Let's hit F5, see what happens. All right, there is a problem. I've got a space. I've got spaces in there. Man, I don't want my commas to look like that. That's a real pain. Yeah. Just put the quotes just on the inside of the parentheses, on the whole thing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, let's do it. And by the way, if you want to just test these things out and not just do them over and over again, you can actually just do this in the shell. You don't have to write print in it, okay? But what if I do this, right? If I say 10, 21, 79 like this, and I can run it in the shell, and that looks a little bit better, but it gave me those, which is a little weird. Right? Like, what? Come on. All right. We can actually do something else in here if we want to. Okay. Let's see. Just type this in with me. I don't even remember if this is the exact code. I haven't used this one in a while. Are you ready? So sep equals, and then put 2 more quotes in there, like that. Okay. I'm going to try running that, see what I get. Hey, look at that. Check it out. It works this time without a space. So now I can be like, oh, darn it. So you can see sometimes programming, just getting these little details just right, it's kind of a pain, right? We call those PIDAs. Pains in the, yeah, I'm recording this. All right. There we go. So I just put a space in there like that. I'm going to try it again. Yep, got to do that every time. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something I want, right? All right, I'm just showing you, really the whole purpose of this is just to show you that these little details, they seem really, really mundane, but they are going to affect the output, what it is you are seeing in there. And later on, I'm going to show you easier ways to accomplish what we just did there, but it's important to note nonetheless, okay? So basically what we've got here is if I wanted to make a comment to myself here, like if I were telling myself, I would say this displays the list in parentheses. And I'm just going to put parentheses like that so I don't have to do that. And then I might just tell myself numbers separated by a comma. Okay. Now these things we're typing in here, guys, we're not going to be typing this many hashtags normally. That's not something a programmer would really do. But what I'm going to have you doing when we do this is you're going to be printing some of these things out. So you're essentially going to make yourself a little record of what it is we did in class and make a little reference. Later on, we're also going to be building our own Python cheat sheets, which is really nice to have. If you go online and look for cheat sheets, you're going to find a million different cheat sheets out there. They're never like made for you though. At least that's what I've always found is like making your own seems to work a lot better. Okay, we're going to do another thing, guys. So what this is now, when I print that list, is that's a list of integers. But it doesn't have to be. It can actually be a random list of integers and strings and things of that nature, okay? So let's say I'm going to print some numbers here. I'm going to print the number 11, which is an integer. Now I want a string in there. And so I'm going to type in Yoda. You can type in whatever you want there. And then I want the integer 30. Oh, sorry, man. I'm going to type in the integer 38. And I'm going to put that in there. And what I should see when I run this, at least my anticipation, is that I'm going to see 11 space Yoda space 38. That's what I should see, okay? So once you get something typed in there, a couple of numbers, and you can put as many things in there as you want. As long as they're separated by a comma, you're going to be in good shape, though. I just heard, did somebody get an error when they did it? Did you? What did you mess up? Can you tell? The second quotation around Yoda, huh? Did you put the comma inside? Oh, there we go. There you go. So it was confused what Yoda 38 because that was a conflict. It was an integer and a string, right? All right. So anyway, I'm going to run that, and we've got there you go. 11 Yoda 38. If I go back in here, and like I say, I like to break things, right? If I take out those quotes, everything still looks good. I've got 11 Yoda 38, and I run that. Here's what I'm going to see. Look at this right here, guys. You see this traceback, most recent call last. It says name Yoda is not defined. What Python thought I did there when I did not put the quotes around it is Python thought I was calling a function. It thought there's some command called Yoda that I've not yet told it what Yoda means. And so it can't handle that. So that's like I say, you want to be able to kind of mess with these things a little bit. So when you are dealing with something like this, you are going to have to put those in there. One other little thing that I want to put, I'll just keep it in here. I'm just going to put hashtag letters require quotes for now. All right, we're building on things, okay, to keep the proper syntax. I have been using the double quotes. It's actually not necessary. okay? For example, what if I wanted to print out a statement with quotes? Can I do that? Well, the answer is in programming, of course, we can do that, okay? So if I want to print something with quotes, or even if I don't want to, I'm going to print a name here. Somebody give me a name, Dumbledore. All right, so I'm going to print the name Dumbledore. How do I spell Dumbledore? I haven't read the books in a while. Does it have an E at the end? All right, Dumbledore. There we go. All right, so I'm going to print Dumbledore here, right? And you could do this just in the shell if you wanted to, okay? And I print it out, and it says Dumbledore. Excellent. What if I want it to be in quotes? There's something we can do. We can actually add a single quote to either side of that, okay? Add a single quote. I could also do it in reverse if I wanted to. I could do double quotes on the outside, single quotes on the inside, right? But I want double quotes around it. So I'll run that now and see what I got. Aha! I managed it, right? Now I have Dumbledore in quotes because those quotes have become a part of the string. In fact, guys, there's no limit to the number of quotation marks you can include on this thing. The Python's going to treat it like, hey, what are those outside quotes? Now, sometimes you've got, quotes on double quotes on the inside of things and single quotes. And the general convention that we use in Python is we're going to start it. Here, I'll just actually type one in for you. All right, here we go. I'm going to say print. I'm going to use 3 single quotes, okay? 3 single quotes. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm going to say your, right? You are, the conjunction your, and we're going to quote dork. You're a dork, okay? So now I'm going to double quote dork around here. Now, to finish this off, I'm going to use my 3 singles again, okay? Make sure I close my parentheses there, and I should be able to run you're a dork and see all of the proper punctuation, okay? So if I hit F5 now, run this thing once again, there you go. I actually managed to get it to print exactly what I wanted it to. I've got the the apostrophe in your, and I've got the double quotes around dork. I was able to accomplish that, no problem. And what I did there, guys, note I used those 3 single quotes on either end, okay, to turn that into a string for me, okay? All right, just a couple more things I want to show you guys, and this will be really simple. You can do really super basic math in here. Actually, you can do really complex math in here, but it's really pretty easy. If you just want to see the outcome of something, watch this. We can just do print 5 plus 3. We can all handle that in our head, right? Whoops, not 5.3. I want to use the plus sign in there, okay? Plus is going to be addition, guys. The minus sign subtraction. The forward slash is going to be your division, and the star is going to be your times, okay? Multiplication with a star. So you can play around with the math in here. You don't have to do what I do right here, okay? I could also say print something like 5 plus 3 with quotes around it, turn it to a string, okay? Or I could do something and actually like make something that looks like it solves a problem. I could say print quotations 5 plus 3 in quotations, all right, comma, and then type in 5 plus 3 and close that up. Okay, I want some prediction from you guys because a big part of doing a lot of this is trying to predict, of course, what your code is going to run. Guys, what is my output going to be? What's going to be in the shell when we run print 5 plus 3? 8. 8 is going to show up because it's going to do that math there, okay? It's going to take integer 5 and add it to integer 3. It's going to spit out 8. What's going to print when I say quotes 5 plus 3 in quotes? It's going to print out 5 plus 3. What's going to print out when I do quotes 5 plus 3, comma, 5 plus 3? Exactly, 5 plus 3 and then 8. Okay, so let's make sure we got that, right? And again, it's still running the entire code here, right? But that's what it did. On 5 plus 3, it gave me 8. When I turned it into a string, it gave me 5 plus 3. And on the last one, 5 plus 3, 8. I'd kind of like that to say equals 8, right? And so a really easy way to do that is to go back into your code, put a little equal sign right in there, okay? And that'll do it for you, right? At least for now anyway. If you want it to be spaced out nicely, that's actually not a problem. You can actually include spaces in there, okay? And so far, we put everything behind print it's perfectly legal, guys, to print this. Okay, we can do that as well. What are we going to see? Yeah, we're just going to see nothing. But sometimes you actually want that. There are reasons, as you will find out later on, if we would want that out. Okay. We've got a lot more we can do from here, but I want to give you guys a little bit of time to take a look at your book there. So your final hashtag is print out on paper and then complete those little questions I have up there at the top, like give me a definition for algorithm, explain the difference between low and high level programming, and I really want, what are those 5 basic instructions used in all coding? Because those are pretty helpful.